Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is Sunderland, it is Bright Lights, it is episode 63 of Bright Lights, and I tell you what, have we got a lot to talk about in episode 63. Obviously this is the first game of the season, we do have Stoke in the first game of the season. Hopefully we get some revenge because Stoke are the reason why. Well, they're not the main reason why. I explained in last episode that, look, we had 16 draws last season, and out of those 16, to only finish 1 point behind United in 4th, it's not all down to the Stoke game at the end of the season. You know, there was multiple games we were leading, and we threw it away late that we should have won. And then, yes, obviously we played Stoke at home on the final day of the season, which we expect to beat. And if we did win on the final day, we did finish in the in 4th place and got Champions League football. As it so happened, we did lose to Stoke in last episode. And there we are. Unfortunate for ourselves, but we'll see how we go. Can you give us a review? Can you give your review for this game? Of course we can. Big Noodles. We always give a review for our games. We do commentate it, but in terms of Football Manager itself, I think it's absolutely sensational. FM19, and I highly recommend that if you don't get it for Christmas and you don't already have it, you go out and purchase it, because I do love it to bits. As you do know now on YouTube, we are live on Twitch. Link in the description below as always. We do have a lot of people watching the transfer drama that has unfolded. You can already see one new name on here, and we will talk about Thomas in a second because he will be starting today, because another player came out in that position. And the next big thing, and the reason I am starting, is Rodrigo Marquez has come through preseason, and unfortunately with how things are at the moment, he has to sit on the bench. But and he's our only striker on the bench for this game. It won't be for the full season, don't worry. But he has come good and will be part of the season, as his broken leg that he did receive in a few episodes ago, he's only got 1 to 3 days before he resumes full training. We get his match sharpness up, and he'll be good to use. Without further ado, though, to the biggest transfer window in the club's history, here you go. We sold 97 million worth of players. We sold 62, but we're going to start with one player, and that is Daniel. He is unhappy. He's kicking up a fuss, and every 2 days he's looking to go and hand in a transfer request because he wants to go to Liverpool. We stood strong. We rejected bids of up to 95 million for Daniel. And that was it. I told Liverpool 120 million on the button, or you do not get him, because that's obviously his release fee to Champions League clubs. They didn't offer it. We kept our man. There we go. And there will be a new man to play alongside him, but he won't be there just yet. We go back to the transfers right now. Here we are. The first big one is the club captain, Alex, has gone to Liverpool. Now, I have a thing with club captains. We sold Cardinal a long time ago. When they kick up fuss, you're a club captain, you should never click up a fuss. You know, everything should be private. Coaching, you should get a good rapport. Happy. Liverpool came in and bid about 40 mil, 35 mil for him. And I was like, look, that's not enough. I'm going to reject. I rejected. He goes, look, I want to move to Liverpool because it's Liverpool. Liverpool win it every year. We understand. All right. Not a problem. I want to sell you for about 60 million at a minimum. He was happy with that. Liverpool came in and then said, oh, we know he's unhappy. We're going to bid 16. We're going to bid 20. And I said, no, that's not good. Reject. So then he kicked up a fuss. He wanted a hand in transfer request, and then there was mutiny on our hands with the squad. And I said, all right, I'm just going to offer him out, transfer list for 52 million. Everybody, Bayern, Barca, Madrid, Liverpool, everybody wanted him. At the end of the day, Liverpool said we'll give you 45 mil up front. I think it's 35 mil, then 10 mil over 12 months. They're going to pay us 5 mil over 2 periods. And then it is another 5 mil or 6 mil when he gets 10 international games. Obviously being Serbian, he's going to play 10 international games. So the club captain left. I wasn't too upset because I didn't want him to be club captain, but he was our best option. And he's never got a good match rating for us. I want our club captain to be a player that's good, and our club captain is going to be a shock. Everyone might think it's Mark Godin. It's not. He is going to be a standing captain this year. Unfortunately, that 6 leadership is not good enough. I'll give it to the Haller. Haller's got 11 leadership, 12 teamwork, but he's a player that plays sensational. We'll talk about Haller a little bit in a second. The next big one was that Marcus Thuram, after the poor year that he had last year, kind of hit his limit. We sold him on for 21 mil. Outstanding profit. There we are. We sold him. We got him for 1.4. To sell him for 21 is big. If you think that's proper, you got to remember, we bought Alex for 800k. 45 freaking mil with 51 with potential. Unreal. This is the one that hurt me a lot, was Luciano. Luciano was a player that I wanted to keep. I wanted him to be around. I wanted him to get a work permit because he has great potential to play right back, to be better than Will Burgess. He couldn't get a work permit. And I was like, look, if you can't get a work permit, what are we going to do? I know I need a centre-back, and I need the money for a said centre-back that we are going to talk about in a second. I'm going to offer him out. In the end, PSG put in a bid, and he kicked up a fuss, and I rejected it. PSG thankfully came back with a bid for 10.75 mil, which was his market value. And I decided to just cash in. That I thought that if we couldn't get him a work permit after he played a full season at Inter, it was going to be hard to get him a work permit in the future. I'll cash in. Look, there's a part of me that wishes I actually stuck my gut and said, no, we're going to do what we did with Daniel. We're going to loan him out again and maybe we'll come in. But we brought in another right back of said quality. That's okay. Next was Sergi Sampri. Obviously, we knew about that. Duncan Watmore kicked up a fuss and wanted to leave. And they just get 4.5 mil for Duncan, who's obviously not really that good anymore. Was great. There's also a lot of loans going out there. Some of the big loans is Jasmine yet again. Alvaril, who we did talk about that was coming in this window, has gone out to Sevilla as a first-team player. Jasmine has gone out as a first-team player and has got a match rating of a minimum of 8.6 in pre-season for Sevilla. Flavio obviously has gone out to Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. Daniel's out on loan as well. Sydney's out on loan. And so will be and Fofana's out on Sporting. And Andrew Alcott, because we do have a right-back cover, is also out on loan. But here we go. This is what we're going to talk about. The one thing I said in that YouTube episode was I need a striker. We're going to start with the frees and work our way up. Avril could be that striker, and he's better than, I reckon, Joe Silva, who is going to be our backup striker this year with Marquez. We need to get this guy a work permit, but if he plays, he's got 20 games at 20, 10 goals, and he can't get a work permit. FM, fix it, please. All right. Anyhow, he's got great determination, great flair, great off the ball. He's got great physicals. 194, you got to remember. His headering's not bad. Unfortunately, his finishing's not that great, but I reckon this guy is going to be a monster for us. Next is Thomas Nagai. Now, Nagai was a free, and for a free, I've scouted him many times. This guy's the goods. This guy is like the coconuts on a free. So to pick him up on a free transfer after he left Strasbourg was unreal. He's a guy that I said that at the worst, we're going to sell him for profit no matter what. We're going to sell him off for more than 15 million. Sensational bit of business. He's got great passing, great technique, great vision, great determination, and great pace. He's a bit short, but he's got good dribbling as well. Reminds me a little bit of not Messi, but a Messi-esque player. Right, with obviously Alex going out, I'm obviously going to give this guy the shot. I'm going to say that, look, you're at the level and you can grow into it. Alexander's also at the level, but his potential's kind of just dropped off a little bit, right? Morales reckons. And the guy's potential isn't. So I'm going to give him the guy the time to see what he does. Pedro Arthur is the backup right back. Now, 6 mil is a little bit, I don't know why that's down on average. He's actually training really well. He's got 6 caps for Brazil. So he's a Brazilian international. And he played at Barca, and to pick him up for 10 mil because he was at Barca not playing, who paid 24 mil a year before. Just look at the stats as a wing-back on support. Like, he's a more all-round than Alcott, and he can allow Alcott to go on loan. In the Europa League, this guy was going to start every game, basically, and I feel like he's going to be sensational. He's very all-round. He's got great passing and tackling in a possession-based system on the counter, which is great. Not off the ball does hurt, but his work rate makes up for it. He's got great teamwork and very good physicals to get up and down. I don't rate the 2.5 star rating, but he is decent for most Premier League side. I think he's a bit more better than that, and I'm hoping his form will predict that. Next in is the 2 big ones. We said we needed a striker, and we said that maybe Van Dijk's not good enough at the moment. Hopefully he's good enough in the future. We need a centre-back. A poll went out on Twitter about this guy, and in the end, 60% of the votes said get Ives, and 40% of the votes said no, stick with Van Dijk, because Van Dijk's headering is very similar. However, Ives is 191 centimetres with 16 jumping reach, and I couldn't help myself. This guy, alongside Daniel, could be the difference between us finishing top 4 winning Europa League this year and us crashing out. I think he's good. 15 marking, 17 tackling, can't knock it. 10 determination does hurt, but we have a determined squad, so hopefully that gets up. He's 22, which means he's still going to grow. But look at the physicals. Stamina, strength, his pace isn't bad, jumping reach, and he's got 11 passing and 10 vision, which means he could technically play ball-playing defender. He's going to play central defender on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, and obviously he has leading potential, and he's a good player at the moment. Alongside Daniel, them two could be the goods, but this is the big one. We highlighted him. I don't know if we highlighted him last episode, but we definitely highlighted him on stream many times. Nicholas Adrian, when he got relegated from Watford, was always a player we've got to look at. We wanted Boba Diarra as our number 1 primary target. He is now going to Man City. Man City paid 100 and something mil, or 90 something mil. 82 mil with clauses. I'm 90% sure on that. He's already played 1 game and scored a goal. And where did he play is the question. Did he play up front? He played as a right winger against Brighton, which is a natural position. We would have played him up front. Anyway, Boba Diarra. We would have played him with those stats up front. We trained him to play up front, the kid. Anyhow, Man City pulled him. Nicholas Adrien, though, has played 8 times for France, 2 goals. And in a relegated side with Watford, scored 11 goals. His form in pre-season, though, hat-trick, 2, not too bad in the other 2. Look at his stats. For 33.5 mil relegation fees, already worth 43. He's a current French international. You know how hard it is to get into a French international? Quiddy, how's it going, my friend? You know how hard it is to be an French international? Look at the stats. He's so well-rounded. He's got great off the ball, great technique. He knows about how to find the back of the net. He's 185 centimetres. He can bang headers in, and he comes deep. He tries first-time shots, and some of the goals he scored in free kick were some of the goals he scored in preseason were amazing. The free kick of 16, unreal. I expect this kid to be the future of the club, and I expect a lot of things from this kid. I don't know what his training is, but I'm going to just praise it, just trying to make him like me as quickly as possible. But there we go. So that is Stoke. There we are. That is Stoke. That is Sunderland. We got Stoke today. In terms of season preview, they say we're going to finish 7th. Spurs made a transfer deadline day, which means we're going to finish. We were in 6th, now 7th. They think we're going to go Adrian and Joe Silva. I don't. I feel like we will go Adrian and Rab. Now, they do say we're going to play Nakamura. Now, Nakamura's still here, and he's grown. He's got this leading, and he's had a very good preseason. We will play a lot with a left winger, I reckon, this season in terms of rotation. None of our players have made the team of the year, but if you go back to this, obviously, Daniel Dosick still reckons he gets a game. He doesn't. Burgess De Silva, Smithies is in goals, and Smithies does start today because the last thing you have to talk is injuries and international break. On international break is still Rab and Ives, but they're both back for the Man City game coming up shortly after the Stoke game. Obviously, Joe Silva's also going to be back on the bench for that. And Diogo picked up a training injury, which means Smithies is going to start the league, which I'm not too upset about because Smithies is a decent enough keeper. In terms of everything else, Fofana and Alcott are out on loan as well, so we're going to move him in. That is your squad for this season. That's your squad for Sunderland. And the goal is, I'm telling you right now, is to finish top 4, convincingly in the top 4 as well, and to win the Europa League and try and challenge for the FA Cup and try and avoid Liverpool in the FA Cup at all costs. There we are. That is your team. There is a temptation maybe to play wide and, go Nakamura. The temptation is to get up against Stoke and then bring Nakamura on and highlight and showcase him. But anyway, that is your team. We are rotating it slightly. Miguel's coming in. I was going to play Dosek just to keep him fit. Marquez can't play, but there we are. Where are you from? How's Quinny go? Location. Quinny. There we are. I know Quinny's English, and I think he thinks I'm English, but I am Australian. In Adelaide. And there we are. Robertson's in good form. He comes to the bench. You got Lopez. He comes to the bench as well. We're in pretty good shape. Anyway, against Stoke, I'm predicting us to win and not do what we did last season. Anyhow, that is your team. Smithies, Burgess, Daniel Van Dijk. We are training to play left back. De Silva, Miguel, Godin, Haller, Nagai, Alexander, and Adrian. If you look at Van Dijk, as a left back, physically a monster, can defend. Sensational. And it pulls away from his headering. His headering's actually gone up of late, which is good. He's on a key contract. I want him to be more first-team contract and confirm that. And there we are. All right, we are going to submit the team, and off we go into this one here. Are we going to beat Stoke? Hopefully. Can we get some revenge on Stoke? I would love to say we will. Hopefully, you guys in the comments, if you're on Twitch and you've just watched all that, which you have, please let me know if you think the signings have been good. And can everyone in the YouTube comments, I watch that back before we get started in this game, are the signings going to be good enough for this season to finish top 4 and win the Europa League? I think they are. Look, I'm hoping Alexander can do a job for us, and there we are. I know I'm from Victoria. There we are, Quinny. Adelaide, mate. There we are. Good boy, Quinny. Oh, Quinny, we played pro clubs together. Of course we did. Never mind. Think of a different Quinny. We have to avenge what happened against Stoke. Obviously, we did lose 2-1 on the final day to keep us in the Europa League and not finish in the Champions League. Got to set the opposition instructions, and we'll see how we go. Absolutely have no doubt that the ambition's there. Obviously, I'd rather have him available, but I believe in Smithies today. I met Graham Arnold this week. That would have been unreal. What is he like? I feel like he has a good brain, footballing brain. I was worried when he joined from Sydney because I thought it was just Sydney being good, but the stuff that he plays for Australia is decent. Anyway, Rafa, ball inside. Great crunching challenge, and that will find Haller. Haller now, 2 minutes in, running up the line. It's obviously cut out, and we now get to Rafa. Yanamai hits it from distance, and side netting nearly found its way in past Smithies. Smithies is still a decent keeper, and he's got his keeping stats. It's another highlight here. Stoke, Haller picks it up. Haller's got numbers, and he's running. Still with Haller. Can he cut it? Instead, he goes himself. That's the one thing, is if he cuts that to Adrian, that's a goal. Haller goes himself, and it's well saved from Henderson. He had a great game last time we played. There we are. Played against Stoke. Haller, back post there. Henderson claims, and Daniel won't find a header on it, and that's okay. Look, I am nervous because it's Stoke, and Stoke have put one over us in recent history, but I do expect us to go out there and do the job here. Look, I'm going to tell us to get creative here as well. I want that first goal. I want that front three to, that front two and Thomas to really get gel. Alexander's not the best player in there, but that's okay. De Silva picks up a booking as well. And it's a highlight, and it's in Torbor. His ball in. The guy picks it up, and it will be Durant Miguel, who's not 100% fit. That's why he started today. More match fit anyway. Nagai in the middle of the park, driving with that dribbling. Adrian loves pulling in these wide areas as well. Nagai, Durant Miguel, goes into Godin. Godin obviously knows how to find a pass, and it's a good pass out of De Silva, and there's numbers in the box. There we are. De Silva gets to the byline. He cuts it. Haller heads it. Alexander's there! And the whole time he's been playing striker in pre-season, hasn't seen a thing. The first time in the league of asking, Alexander scores. And I said to Alexander before the game, just do what you do. I said it to the YouTube. I said, just do a job. And he has done that job. Back post, Haller there, getting his assist tally up and away in the first game as well. I'm expecting him to get a lot of assists. And Alexander pods at home, dominating the game and well on top of Stoke here. Van Dijk, interesting to see him throw it in. Hospitable to Adrian as well. But can we press in here? Sergio there. Etobo. Ball out wide to Dezu. Dezu now. Into the ball. Dezu. I love that name. Anyway, Van Dijk picks it up. Miguel Daniel. Good play to play out here with Smithies, who goes second line to Adrian, who's not there. It's alright. Anyway, can we press in Rafa? Gramel now. They run into the middle of the park. There should be numbers here for us as we come out. Haller's let his man run a little. That's fine. Laxalt ball into Dezu. Great crunching challenge and got in now. And this is where we can hit people on the break. Haller. Adrian wants the back post. There he is. Adrian doesn't win it though. And it will be Rafa. It just had to be a better ball into the space. I'm feeling like there's going to be a clear-cut chance for one side here. It's taken this highlight, taken too long. Thomas now from distance. In the end of the zoo, hits it and it's 1-1 just like that. And there we are. On the re-break goes Stoke, and it is 1-1. And yet again, it worries me that the ball from Haller wasn't good enough, but it should have been. And that we get hit on the break so easily like that. And it's not because of anything defensively. It's more that Daniel has tried to keep a highlight. Daniel's tried to keep a drop off, and someone else hasn't. And it's just, Anyway, De Silva's picked up a knock here, and we don't have a left back on there. We could bring Daniel out there. Van Dijk out there. We might try and see how well De Silva picks up anyway. At halftime, it's 1-1 in a game we've dominated, and this was the story of last season as well. Dominated game, and we draw. Got to aggressively say I'm not happy with that. A couple of people seem demotivated. I'm just going to try, and I have faith in you to go and do what you need to do. Mike got in. Obviously, I have faith in Mike. To be honest, the person I bring on for Mike is Robinson, because Robinson in previous years has hit bangers for fun as well. And it's just good to have him on the bench. Anyway, time ticking away here, and Smithies now. Plays it into Daniel. Daniel with the ball. Facing forward, which is what we want. Got him. Can he turn? He does. And now running at his man. Ball over the top towards Adrian, the wonder kid. Hits it. Henderson, what a save. Haller's there, though. And Haller gets a goal and an assist in the first game of the season. The new club captain. Kisses his armband. That's good to see. And there we go. I think that's more of a sweatband. But, we'll claim it. We'll claim it, kiss the armband. Anyway, got in there with the ball. Adrian, tight angle, great save from Henderson nonetheless. It was the right place to finish too for Adrian. And he gets an assist on his debut, and there we go. Yes?
Well, you're going to come and eat?
Yeah, I'll come and eat after this, don't worry. There we are.
How many minutes?
10? Anyway, ball in, Stoke, headed away. Sergio's effort over the bar, unlucky. And there we go.
Do I have to come anymore, mate?
60 minutes played, still on top, playing the game well. De Silva's not looking his best. He is having a good game, though. I'm tempted to keep him out there. Kim Jan, backline's not having a good game at all. I'm tempted. Maybe we go slightly more defensive with Mike, and we bring in Durant Miguel can go in there. And the ball will find Dosek now in the deeper line playmaker, and Magala and Mazzala on support. We'll go to that, I reckon, for the first change. There we are. Time's still ticking away here. Another goal would be huge. It would be massive for us just to get home. We are going to make that next change as well. With that next change as well, we are going to bring off the guys. Had a good game. We are going to drop Alexander into there. And we are actually going to bring a winger on. And that is going to be Nakamura's debut. We are going to move Adrian to just slightly like that. We are going to move like that. Just slightly more defense. It's not a defensive change, but it's slightly more. Just a little pace out wide. See if we can hit teams on the break. Now, 8 doors. There we are. The amount of times we went defensive last year and we didn't hold on was a joke. This year, I might play more on the break. Anyway, 90 minutes. We are now going to make a time-wasting sub, and it will be Kim Jan just in there for Van Dijk. We're going to stay with the back four. I'm going to keep faith. Anyway, time's ticked away here, and there's a minute to go, and it looks like on the opening day of the season, we're going to get revenge on Stoke, barring a mistake. There's 16 people watching here. Hello, everybody. We normally stream a little bit later on in the day, but we do normally, stream in this period. Unfortunately, we've got Christmas fitting to do, and I do have to get off and eat dinner in just a second as well. But we will normally stream, and we'll be on streaming Sunday night at some point, and we'll be streaming a lot tomorrow. From tomorrow, I'll be on in this time slot, and we do start after about 4 p.m. as well, which we start today. Nakamura has scored his first goal for the club, and it might be the best goal of the year. And this is what he was doing at Rangers, and this is why I've kept him on loan. What a strike. This is why I want to go back to playing with a winger, right? And if our centre attacking mid doesn't play well, I'm actually going to bring a winger in there and go really aggressive on the break. Nakamura, left foot, pick that one out, top bins. He's right-footed as well by memory. And there we go. What a strike from Yumi Nakamura. I wasn't expecting it. I was like, there we go. Game over. How to introduce yourself to not your new club. We've had him here for 4 or 5 years, and we've loaned him out every year to make sure he grew into a player. And he's grown into a good Premier League player who's consistent, with leading potential. Smithies comes and claims. We're going to win 3-1 against Stoke. What a way to end the episode. And what a way to end the stream too, because we will be getting off stream after we end the episode as well. Smithies there, rolls it out into Dosek. Dosek now into Kim Jan. Kim Jan has come back from international duty, and we do win 3-1. Sunderland seemed to make a different second half. We dominated the game we deserved to win. Everybody there having a decent game. Daniel having a decent game. Burgess, De Silva, Haller having a play of the match game. Adrian had a solid game on debut. Not a crazy game anyway. And there we go. We got to go into the team talk there. It's a very good win, boys. Very well done indeed. And that is going to be the end of the YouTube episode. Like we said, we are live on Twitch. Everybody here on YouTube. Links in the description below. Come follow us on Twitch. Come follow us on Twitter. We do win on the opening day. Let us know if you think our signings were good enough for this season. And as always, have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year as well. Just a heads up for everybody though. I do go away on the 26th on Boxing Day. And we won't be back to the 6th. So you won't see YouTube episodes, but it's a great time to catch up as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And have a good night from Damien, Sunderland, and Bright Lights. Thank you for watching episode 63. And I'll see you for episode 64. There we go.